Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Alright, let's see what we got for you right now. We have a quite rare car. Rare for me, and I think rare for many of you out there. Why I say that it's not a car it's not a famous brand, like a super famous brand, one thing. Second of all, it was not their most famous model either. What we got for you right now, it's a 143 scale, 1968 Autobianchi, Italian, Primula Coupe S, Coupe, not Coupe, Coupe, there's the accents in the E, Coupe S. Alright guys, this is a resin model, it's not a diecast, it's a resin. And this is actually made by Silas. Silas, it's a quite not great looking, good quality brand for resin. They're not so famous no more. It's not like Neo, it's not like Kess. They're not as famous as them because they made some models. Most of them, believe it or not, they were not Italian models. They used to make more uh, was the English models, British cars. They used to make a lot of the let's see, what was it? Forgot the name now. The Rileys and the Wolseley and the Austin and the Humber. I think it's called brand called Humber. And these brands that unfortunately no longer in the market. Autobianchi is no longer in the market either. And this is an Italian cute looking car. I gotta say it. It's a 1968 that we're looking at. This model specifically, it was manufactured between 1964 and 1970. You know, uh, they sold not great numbers. They sold, I will say they say about 75,000 of them of these model. I'm thinking most of them were probably sold in Italy. I'm not sure how many countries had this model. Let me know in the comments. That's one of the things I would love to read. Will they ever sold in your country? Uh, I gotta say, I like the style. It's quite generic. I'm not gonna lie. It reminds me of a few other cars out there. It reminds me a little bit of the Austin. It reminds me a little bit of Fiat, probably a Lancia. So it does, gives me cues from other models back in the days. But I like it. I always like to hear these rare brands with rare models that you don't really know much of. I never seen this one in person. By the way, guys, never seen one of them in person. Hopefully one day I will in a car show at least, in a classic car show. Uh, Engine sizes. They were 4-cylinder, very small engine, 1.2, very small engine vehicles. Nothing to obviously bring you, wow, this is a super racing car. No, none of that. It's a classic car, basic, it's probably for the families out there, first time drivers. It doesn't look like it was a big car either. Probably just like the size of probably a Fiat 127 size, more or less. Alright guys, so I'm going to let this car go around a few times and I'll be right back. Alright, guys, so I'm back. I was looking at this car and I said, why do they don't make them in diecast? And this is one of the things that I started collecting resin also. And I started my collection real quick. I'll let you guys know. When I started my collection, I said I'm gonna stick only to diecast. 143 scale diecast. I love them. But then I started noticing a lot of the models were not a lot. A few models were not being made as a diecast. Were only being made as a resin. Like this one specifically. You don't find this model in a mini champs or in the Rev. I said I have to have it. I have to have it. And I started collecting resin models because of this type. Because cars like this, that you don't see them as a diecast, and they're still the same shape, the same size. So I like that. They're a bit more fragile, yes, because they got a lot more pieces, together. Believe it or not, they're a lot more. Like the strip that goes around, let me show you. Like that strip that, goes around the side trim, those are glued to the car, and those are very delicate parts. I noticed that a lot of these resin, they come off real quick. So you gotta always maintain them, probably, touch them here and there just to make sure they don't come apart. But they're still really good looking, and I love them. I love them. Alright, guys. So let me know. Before anything, please give me that nice thumbs up. You know, I always appreciate when I see those nice things like the thumbs up and the comments. Comment what you guys think about these vehicles. Do you like them? Does it remind you of your youth? If you're Italian or one of the countries that sold these models, it probably reminds you of your youth. There's a 1968. If you're like in the 50s or 60s or 70s, these cars will probably bring you a lot of memories. Unfortunately, I never seen them. Like I said before, I never seen them in person. I wish I did, because I like to get to see all these. I see pictures of it. I seen pictures of it, but I never seen them in person. Oh man, I gotta take a trip to Europe and start going to these countries and visit car shows. Oh my god, I'll be in heaven. I'll be in heaven. Alright, guys, so don't forget to click and subscribe. And when you subscribe, do not forget to click the bell next to the subscribe button. Alright, so take care of yourselves more than ever, like I always say. And goodbye.